Welcome back. Now, it's been one of the most popular shows on US television and has a very loyal following here in Britain. We're talking about Desperate Housewives. In it, Felicity Huffman plays Lynette Scarvo, your average supermum coping with all kinds of family crises.
Mr. T, you're laughing at that description. Is that fair?
I like average supermom. Yeah. It's kind of like Desperate Housewives. It's that great oxymoron. But average and super often go together.
Don't they? Often, yes. And we are all supermums, of course. Before we speak to Felicity, here is Lynette with her husband Tom, and they're both trying to win over their children to the idea of a family holiday. Let's have a look.
Yeah, if the Grand Canyon isn't your scene...
Did she say scene?
You're bound to love our next stop, the Screaminator. 7 minutes of sheer roller coaster terror. Responsible Parenting magazine calls it the worst idea since the caffeinated juice box.
That's awesome. Ooh. Oh, me likey that.
Any and all of these thrilling destinations are available to us. We just point the RV and drive.
All right. Oh, yes. Mom went. Oh, man, I can't wait.
Ooh, I forgot about the RV. Won't it be a little cramped now that we have Paige?
Oh. Maybe your dad's right. Maybe we shouldn't take the RV. Maybe we should take the road juggernaut, 8,000. State-of-the-art entertainment system, 6 private sleeping compartments, and 2 full baths. One of which Justin Bieber used on his last tour to make water balloons.
Shut up!
Shut up! I'm going to wear that. We are going on vacation.
Follow that, Hawaii.
Happy families.
Happy families. I have to say, Tom's vacation really beats the stuffing out of mine.
Does it?
Yeah, an RV to the Grand Canyon, and his is Hawaii, so I sort of
I like
lose
the
out.
RV.
What's that?
I like the RV to the Grand Canyon. I think
God
sounds
bless
fantastic.
you. I'll pay you later.
Now, the episode I saw, your character is being left very much on the side. Hubby has a fantastic new corporate job,
Yes.
which is he is loving, and he's in the zone, isn't he? And you're suddenly finding yourself a little bit on the outside, and you're not happy.
No, I think it's be careful what you wish for. I think she's pushed Tom to be a shark, be a high-powered executive, and she's kind of tricked him into it as well. And finally, he takes the job, and like you say, he likes it. He gets a taste for it, and suddenly Lynette's marginalized and sort of going, I don't like this either.
You see, what's interesting is Lynette as a character was the supermum who had a job and was managing the kids and doing it quite successfully, although, nobody manages to do it brilliantly.
No.
But, and Tom was the one supporting you, and now the roles have changed, and I think that's an interesting dynamic about how... I don't know whether men feel more uncomfortable supporting the woman, whether women feel more uncomfortable supporting the men, but it's definitely put strains on the relationship.
Big question.
It is, isn't it?
I think that's one of the great things about the Scavos is they keep, from the beginning when Lynette was just buried in children, literally, to trying to juggle family and work, to your husband goes off and you stay at home, to you go off and your husband stays at home. I think it's something that everyone can relate to. But I have to say, I think Lynette is going to be a little bit hoisted on her own petard, as I think they say over here, because she just keeps not liking what she's got, She doesn't like it when he goes to school. She doesn't like it when he quits.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it when he's not working. She doesn't like it when he is working. So I think they're heading into some rough waters, marriage-wise.
If you land on the planet and are not familiar with Desperate Housewives, and I haven't followed it a great deal.
Has he been drinking?
But if you arrive at it,
Yes.
it's a strange beast, isn't it? Desperate Housewives. I mean, if you followed it from the beginning, it sort of absolutely makes sense. But if you kind of land in it, it's like, what's going on? These characters are so extreme and whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. And plus, I think there have been about 86 deaths on beautiful Wisteria Lane. So
you don't want to live there, really,
a
do
lot
you?
happens behind that beautiful Wisteria. So yeah, it's an odd place.
But people love the thought that I know there is there's a TV series, isn't there, which is the real sort of Desperate Housewives. And
there are many. The Real Housewives of New York, the Real Housewives of Orange County.
How close do you think it really is to what really does go on?
You mean Desperate Housewives or the reality show?
No, I mean the Desperate Housewives idea. I mean, how close is it to what does go on behind closed doors in this case, fairly affluent American suburbs?
I think it's pretty accurate, actually.
Really?
I mean, the reality shows are pretty accurate. Ours is heightened. I mean, Mark Cherry has a great way of sort of holding up the American, the icon of the American family and making fun of it and poking fun at it and being sarcastic and yet not destroying it. Yeah. So he has to have a heightened reality to do that.
He's the executive producer, isn't he? I do think actually that there are some things in it as well where there you are bowling along with life and then, for example, you get cancer, which your character did. Yeah. And it's life, but it's life really, really compressed. And that must have been quite a difficult role to play.
Yes, you know, the writers do the heavy lifting on that sort of thing. I just try not to mess it up. But yeah, you have to do the research that's required so that you portray it as honestly as possible. But yes, but you know, also last year, I believe, I was pregnant forever. I was like an elephant. It was 2 years of pregnancy. It seemed like
you had the longest gestation I've ever seen.
People kept going, "You're still pregnant?" And I kept lobbying for it. But all I'm saying is, there are parts that are condensed and there are parts that are elongated. I think I just liked being in fat clothes. Yeah.
You're a writer in your own right, aren't you? Because you've written a book.
Oh well.
How to be a good boyfriend.
Close. It's a practical handbook for the boyfriend. It was based on, you know, those Boy Scout handbooks, you know, Boy Scouts handbook, how to get along in the wild.
I had a little look at it, and in amongst, I think, you'll correct me if I'm wrong.
Tell me that you went right to the sex chapter.
No, not at all.
Liar.
How to look like you're listening when you're actually thinking about other things is one of the tips you give. So can you do that? Can you show us?
I can.
Go on.
You look at, well, talk to me.
Okay, I'll just talk about nonsense about Desperate Housewives, and you're thinking about something completely different. That's the big noddy,
that's right.
Paying attention
thing. You look
thing.
into their eyes and you nod.
Yeah.
There's also the get out of jail free card for guys. They can always just go, "I'm so sorry, I was feeling vulnerable," and women just go, "Oh my God, I know what you
anything has happened.
I forgive you." Yes.
2 top tips there from Felicity. I think that's excellent.
I have another one. If you want to see girls naked, turn up the thermostat. They don't like being cold.
Do this
You're
one
going to write that down.
No, how to pretend you're deep. For a man, how do you pretend you're deep?
See 1 and 2. Look in their eyes, nod, and say things like, "I'm sorry, I was feeling vulnerable."
Okay.
Just talk about feelings. Just pretend you have them.
Say this stuff, you know. All day we'll be getting this back now.
We put them into practice. Desperate Housewives, it's very good fun. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
I'm so pleased to be here.
Desperate Housewives is on Channel 4 on Wednesday evenings at 10 o'clock.